Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and this is the iPhone SE that is running iOS 16, the latest operating system for the iPhone lineup. And there happen to be some really new advancements and really nice features added to this operating system, and then some minor features that just take the whole experience of using an iPhone to another level. So we're going to talk about that in today's video, and also whether it's worth the upgrade or not. Let's begin. So you might have guessed, first off is lock screen. Now with the lock screen, that's the place where the most noticeable difference is. So you can start customizing your lock screen according to whatever you want. So you want to change the font style, you want to change the font color, you want to change the wallpaper to live wallpaper or anything. The lock screen is now completely customizable according to your choice. So your own wallpapers that you have saved in your gallery can become your wallpapers, of course, and then you can add custom text over there, widgets below that, world time, and then Apple Health. Now you can also change the font style and the font color. So far there are limited number of font styles and colors, but then with the few months coming through, the incremental upgrades, you would get much better font styles and text. But now notifications start to appear from the bottom instead of the top. Now Apple says this is to minimize distractions when you're using the phone, which might be true, but for a lot of people, they still like having the notifications from the top. That feature is now disabled completely on iOS 16, so notifications just come from the bottom. That's fine, it's not a big difference. Now let's talk about photo and video, the biggest changes and maybe my most favorite changes made to this operating system. So let's talk about photo first. So with photo, now if you have a subject that is reasonably distinct from the background of an image, you can now detach the background of that image from the subject. So the cool thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It can be an object, it could be a cricket bat, it could be another phone in a screenshot, it could be another phone in another photo, it could be a bed from the room, it could be yourself from the background, it could be any object that is distinct enough from the background in such a manner that the software itself can identify that object and separate the background from it. Now of course it will now make it a PNG image, you remove the complete background, and you can send that image at the same quality and the same size through iMessages. Now iMessages also happens to have a few upgrades, and I'll talk about that today in a second or two. But this feature about photos is really cool. So you can now make stickers for Discord, you can now make your YouTube thumbnails if you're into that, but overall you can now remove the background and everything else. And apart from that, with iOS 15, we could scan text from a photo. Now you can do that with a video. So when you have a video and then a moving subject that has some text on it, you can pause the video and then scan the text from that moving subject in the video. So that's also cool. So since we had that in iOS 15, a lot of people did happen to use that, and that's finally there for video in iOS 16. There is macOS Ventura, the newest Mac operating system that is not yet officially released around the globe, but when it does, what you can do is you can use the primary camera of your iPhone as the web camera for video calls. So if you're on Zoom or Google Meet or any web conferencing software, you can use the primary camera of your iPhone only if you have a Mac and macOS Ventura and iOS 16 as your webcam. So instead of using the low resolution 720p MacBook webcam, you can now use this super high quality primary camera of your iPhone as the web camera. So that's also nice. Another thing with macOS Ventura is, if you have an iPhone like the iPhone 12 mini like this that has an ultra wide camera, then using the macOS Ventura software, you can actually get a top-down view of what is on your desk using the edge of the ultra-wide. So the software basically does this with some really complex technology. So with using the edge of the ultra-wide camera, it basically gives you a complete top-down view of what's on your desk. So if you're into making origami videos, or if you're into making drawing videos, or you want to show people something, whatever's on your desk, then using the ultra-wide camera, that would now give you a complete top-down view of what's on your desk. Now this would be available only with macOS Ventura and iOS 16 at the same time, and when that comes out, I'll make a separate video on that. But so far, these were the 4 main new features that surprised me a lot with iOS 16 so far. Now let's talk about iMessages. Now I mentioned previously that you can send those images, those PNG images without the background, through iMessages at the same quality and at the same resolution. But now there are some new upgrades to iMessages. So you can now unsend or edit an already sent message to the recipient. So for example, if you've sent a message and you didn't mean to send that, you can now unsend that message which wasn't there previously on iMessages, which is cool. Another thing is you can edit a sent message already. Now the person viewing that message would not know what changes you've made to it or what edits you've made to it, but they will know that you have edited the message. So both of these features are pretty cool. They're just small improvements on the existing iMessages software. You know, Apple is great at this iMessages thing. So far, those were the main features that you could do with iMessages as well. And of course, you can send those PNG images to people at the same quality and the same resolution. And then finally, there is Apple Health. Now, we all know with the September event of Apple where they released the iPhone 14 lineup and then the 14 Pro phones, that's when they also released the Apple Watch Ultra and then the Apple Watch Series 8, the new Apple Watch lineup. Now that Apple Watch Ultra and Apple Watch Series 8 offers extremely advanced health services. So your medications list and then your heart rate, crash detection with the iPhone 14, all of that is cool, but not everybody has an Apple Watch and not everybody has an iPhone 14 Pro yet, at least as of now at the time of recording this video. But what you can do now is you can create all those medication lists and all the other features, most other features that the Apple Watch offers with iOS 16 on your already existing iPhone. So if you have an iPhone 8 or anything above that, excluding the iPhone 14 for this particular video, then you can use all those health features except for crash detection so far maybe, but that's a cool thing. And if you want your medications list, your daily reminders and everything with that Apple Health app, that's now updated with iOS 16. So if you're into that, if you're into health and exercises, then that's for you. Now, of course, those were the three main features added to iOS 16 which interested me the most. Now, I've already spoken about who all can use iOS 16, and I'm just going to say it again. iPhone 8 users all the way till iPhone 14 Pro users. The iPhone 14 and 14 Pro come pre-installed with iOS 16, but the others you can upgrade to iOS 16 for free if you have anything above an iPhone 8. Now, these were the main visual differences made to the phone, but there have been some new incremental upgrades inside the software itself, something that most users would not touch or interact with. So the one thing is privacy and security updates. So of course, with every new software there are new privacy and security updates. So iOS 16 also has those things incorporated in it. So overall question is about, should you really upgrade to this operating system? Now, if you really care about those photo and video features offered with this new software, then yes, it is. So if you want to make stickers by removing the background from an image, if you want to scan text from a video, if you want to use the high quality primary camera of your iPhone as the web camera, or if you want to show people what's on your desk, then iOS 16 is the way to go. But for that, you would also have to wait for macOS Ventura if you want that webcam feature and the top-down feature. But of course, I'm sure that will also come out in the next few months or so. And when that comes out, there'll be a separate video on that. But so far, yes, pretty cool features with iOS 16. The iMessages are great. Health, if you're into that, that's also pretty good. I'm personally into this photo and video thing of the iPhone, so I like that a lot. But overall, it's worth the upgrade. That's it. Either ways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.